human beings, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Remy and I share lots of vegan recipes and tips to help you live well. And as you can tell by the title of today's video, I want to share with you my favorite vegan friendly spots in Amsterdam. I live in New York, which is where I am now, but as you guys may know, my boyfriend lives in Amsterdam, so I spend quite a lot of time there. Every time that I go back to visit, there's a new vegan restaurant to try. So I wanted to make a video to shout out the vegan spots that I feel like deserve the hype, so that if you're visiting Amsterdam in the near future, or if you live in Amsterdam, you can hopefully try them out. I've seen a couple of other videos on YouTube talking about the best vegan spots, and I feel like they really miss a lot of the gems that really deserve the hype. So I decided to make my own video, including spots that you need to try. If you want to, that is, of course. Now, I know that people get really passionate about their favorite spots, so if yours isn't included, I mean no offense. This is just going to be subjectively the best spots in my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comments below. And I also want to mention that this is by no means all of the vegan restaurants. These are just at the top of my list. There are a lot more that I've included on my Amsterdam blog post, which I'll link in the description box below. That one is huge. It is a list of all the spots that I've tried after years of visiting Amsterdam to see my boyfriend. And a quick note about the state of the world. At the time of filming this video, the only thing that was allowed was takeaway, and so I don't really have very many clips dining in. A lot of the food doesn't look as appetizing as it would if it was plated by the restaurant, so keep that in mind. I do think it's important to support your local businesses and restaurants, especially if they're ones that you like. So if you live in Amsterdam, please hit these places up, and if you're visiting or there for any other reason, try them out. And if you're seeing this in the future, hopefully this will all be something of the past and you will be able to dine in again. All right, let's get into the video. First on the list is Oliver Green, and I may or may not have chosen the Airbnb I stayed in because of its proximity to this cafe slash restaurant. It is one of my favorites. I used to go primarily for smoothies, but they actually have an incredible menu as well. It is 100% plant-based, and I would call it more of like a fast casual, but everything is genuinely so nourishing and good for you. One of the things I really love is that their menu actually offers some pretty great high-protein meals as well, which can be a little bit difficult to find when you're eating at restaurants sometimes. And they also focus on really amazing ingredients, whole food based recipes with no added sugar or refined oils added. I personally really like the lentil bolognese with zucchini noodles, and I also really love the banana bread, like really love the banana bread. It's so good. I always look forward to going to Spirit when I'm in Amsterdam because they have a really great buffet of vegan and vegetarian food. So it's not 100% vegan, but they have a pretty fair amount of vegan options. I'd say the majority of the options are, and they also have a ton of gluten-free items as well. So it's really good if you have dietary restrictions. They label everything really nicely, and it's buffet style, so you can choose what you want. Usually you can use a plate, but right now they're doing takeout containers. They also have soups, desserts, ice cream, though I'm not sure if they're doing takeout ice cream. So when it was open, Mo and I would love to go for date nights together. It's all organic and just really good food. Funny story about Men Impossible, which is an all-vegan ramen spot. Mo and I had been trying to go to this restaurant for a couple years at this point, and every time we did, something would come up, like they would be closed or there was a restaurant ban. But we finally tried it this time, and we had it twice because it was just that good. It's delicious vegan ramen, handmade noodles every single morning, and prepared by real Japanese chefs. It's not your typical ramen in that the broth is a lot thicker and is more of like a sauce that you mix into your noodles, but it is chef's kiss, so flavorful, and you have to try it. They usually offer gluten-free noodles on request, but right now, due to the circumstances, they aren't offering it. Still though, it is a must try, especially if you like noodles. Juice Brothers is a really nice go-to whenever I'm in Amsterdam because they have locations all over the city, and they are a certified organic cold-pressed juice and smoothie bar, which is really difficult to find. Their juices are great, but I usually go for the smoothies, and I also really love the smoothie bowls. My favorite is the matcha protein smoothie bowl, and I also really like the chocolate bodybuilder smoothie. Really good. They actually make a thick smoothie bowl the way I feel like it should be made, so you can't go wrong. It's a great spot if you need something quick and healthy. If you've seen some of my older Amsterdam vlogs, then you will know that Mo and I are huge fans of Uncommon. It is a cafe that's fairly new, and we discovered it on my last trip in Amsterdam, and we went gosh, we went an embarrassing number of times to the point where the staff actually started to recognize us and remember our order. So if that doesn't tell you enough, I mean, we loved it. It was great, and I love that they actually have decent matcha lattes along with good coffee. It's hard to find a place that does both well, so it's a great place for Mo and I to go together. And on top of all of that, they have scrumptious food, so you can either go for drinks or you can go for a full-on meal. I love the acai bowl, and I also love the wild mushroom toast. They have gluten-free options for sourdough as well if you're not able to eat gluten. Another cafe we love is Toki, and they also do really good matcha and coffee, so it's another great reliable spot that we go to. In addition to drinks, they also have some decent food, just not the best gluten-free options, though if you are vegan and able to eat gluten, I highly recommend the sandwiches. Right now they're doing takeaway sandwiches, and even though it sounds a little odd, the broccoli sandwich is surprisingly bomb. One more spot where you can get some really good matcha is Matcha Mafia, and this was one of the first places where I had an actually good matcha latte in Amsterdam. It was a little tricky to find because a lot of the spots were not using ceremonial grade matcha, and you guys may know that I am a stickler about good matcha. I have high standards, but this place does it right. They also have some really creative drinks, like some of the charcoal or blue spirulina type of drinks if you want something that's very Instagrammable and beautiful. But they also have a couple of light bites like chia pudding and baked goods, and I think they recently added bagels to their menu as well. Let's talk dessert and baked goods, because there's a new spot that I tried for the first time this trip called Putti by Sam, and it is not all vegan, but they have some really great options for those with dietary restrictions. So there are some gluten-free options, some vegan and gluten-free options, refined sugar-free options, and so on. And it's also a great place to order custom cakes as well. So I'm putting this one on the list because I think it can be a little difficult sometimes to find a place to do a custom cake, especially if you're someone with dietary restrictions. If gelato is more your thing, then you definitely need to check out Massimo Gelato. Now, the last time I was in Amsterdam, Mo and I stayed in an Airbnb just around the corner from one of the locations, and we went a few too many times. They have a full sorbetti menu which has all vegan flavors and everything from chocolate to pistachio to hazelnut, and summer flavors like peach and melon. So it's a must try. It's super creamy and rich, and it's just really good gelato. Last but certainly not least, this one's kind of a bonus because you guys may know that I'm not a coffee drinker, but my boyfriend is, and I know a lot of my friends are, and they all agree that this spot is the best coffee in Amsterdam. Scandinavian Embassy, and my boyfriend happens to also be a part owner in this cafe now because he loved it so much he ended up working with them. And I must say they do really good desserts as well, and great autumn tea if you aren't a coffee drinker like myself, but you can also just grab the chocolate ball, which is scrumptious. And here's my boyfriend just trying to tell you about the buns. They aren't vegan, but they have kind of a cult following as well. So I guess if you aren't vegan, maybe it's something to try as well.
This is what people line up for. Sell out of it every day. So make sure you come as early as you can to get it. Otherwise there's no guarantee. We've had people flying from like Singapore, I think, just to get this bun.
When are you guys gonna get a vegan one? Comment below if you think they should get a vegan one.
Yeah, let us know.
It's 2020, come on guys.
If we get 100,000 likes on this video, we'll
come through guys, I really want one.
Alrighty friends, that is it for today's video. I hope you found this list interesting, exciting, found the food porn shots delicious. I got really hungry editing this video, and I hope that it'll be helpful if you have plans to be in Amsterdam in the near future, or if you live there and maybe just haven't heard of some of these spots. Feel free to comment below with your favorite spot in Amsterdam if I missed it, or if there's one in the video that you really like as well. And of course, if you want a longer list, check out the blog post. I will link that in the description box below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel, and don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a new video. I'll see you in another one soon. Bye!